So let's take a look inside the latest Maga and Trump scheme or stunt or grift, whatever you want to call it, that's really hurting the American people. This one is combining a few different concepts. So remember back in March of 2024 when Donald Trump announced that he was selling the Trump Bibles for about $60? Remember he did the whole video about that? Well, now in Oklahoma, the head of their Department of Education, their superintendent, who's like an extreme MAGA guy, his name is Ryan Walters. So he's put out a bidding process right now because he wants to make sure that there are Bibles in every school in Oklahoma. So he wants to order 55,000 Bibles. And so he put out a request for proposal, RFP, but he tailored the request for proposal that the Bibles that will go in all of the classrooms in Oklahoma, which will cost about $3.3 million for 55,000 or so Bibles, again, ignoring the separation of church or state, that the only Bibles that fit the request for proposals, you guessed it, are the Trump-endorsed Bibles. This would shift about $3 million from public funds into, you guessed it, Donald Trump's pocket. Now, there's a lot of pressing issues in Oklahoma right now as well. They need emergency inhalers for kids with asthma and other debilitating respiratory issues, but the superintendent, you guessed it, is not prioritizing that at all. Instead, he's focused on the Trump Bibles. I want to break this down, show you the receipts here of how this all works. So I guess we start at the beginning, right? We should start in March where Donald Trump gives he makes a commercial where he says he's selling these Bibles. I'm just going to show you. It's like a 3-minute clip. He posts about it. He puts it on his social media platform. I'm just going to show you a small portion of that just to remind you. Play the clip.
What can we do? Stand up, speak out, and pray that God will bless America again. I'm proud to endorse and encourage you to get this Bible. We must make America pray again.
And then on his social media platform, there are ads like this. The Trump Bible, he says, it's endorsed by Jesus Christ. Now, Donald Trump also recently faked an endorsement of Taylor Swift. He faked an endorsement on Friday of Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Chase. And now he's saying that his Bibles not only are endorsed by him, but he's got the secret endorsement of Jesus Christ right there. And then on this website, it goes, this is the only Bible officially endorsed by Donald Trump. Let's take a look at the reporting several months later. This was done on Friday by Oklahoma local journalism, and they worked very closely with a great nonprofit that I want to give a shout out to called Oklahoma Watch. They're oklahomawatch.org. Support them. They do a lot of great research, and you should visit the site, oklahomawatch.org. So take a look at this article from the Oklahoman. It pieces a lot of this together. Trump Bible, one of the few that meet Walters' criteria, that's the superintendent in Oklahoma, for Oklahoma classrooms. Now, in my own view, there should be a separation of church and state, so these Bibles shouldn't be in classrooms as well. But you could actually, if you were going to purchase Bibles, you'd probably be able to get them for free, number one, or, spend $1 or $2 or maybe less, not $60 per Bible, transferring millions of dollars to Donald Trump from the taxpayers of Oklahoma. Okay, let's take a look. Superintendent Ryan Walters isn't just talking about buying Bibles for schools. Bids open Monday for a contract to supply the Oklahoma State Department of Education with 55,000 Bibles. According to the bid documents, vendors must meet certain specifications. Now, what do you think these specifications are? We can show you the bid documents here so you can see the RFP, the request for proposal yourself. Bibles must be the King James Version. It must contain the Old and New Testament, But get this, the Bible must also include copies of the Pledge of Allegiance, Declaration of Independence, U.S. Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, and must be bound in leather or leather-like material. Why must it be bound in leather-like material? And why must a Bible include copies of the Pledge of Allegiance and Declaration of Independence? Oh, I get it. The only Bible out there that did that was the Bible Donald Trump selling for $60 right there. And so as you go through it, Trump's is the only one that really fits this criteria right here. According to Oklahoma Appleseed Center of Law and Justice Executive Director Colleen McCarthy, the quote is, "The request for proposal on its face seems fair." First off, no, it doesn't. It doesn't seem fair at all, in my opinion. I'm going to have to disagree with you here, Colleen. We can see there are very few Bibles on the market that would meet these criteria. Pause. Yeah, why would you need a leather-bound Bible for elementary schools and schools in general? What makes no sense to me. And all of them have been endorsed by, you guessed it, Donald Trump were the ones. It appears to me that this bid is anything but competitive. You think? It adds, this was former Oklahoma Attorney General Drew Edmondson. It adds to the basic specifications other requirements that have nothing to do with the text. The special binding and inclusion of government documents will exclude almost all bidders, other than Donald Trump. If the bid specs exclude most bidders unnecessarily, I would consider this a violation. So by violation, do you mean a violation of the law, that this is a criminal conspiracy right here? Because in my opinion, it kind of starts to look like that to me. But look, folks, we can talk about the grift here. We can talk about the scheme and the scam. This has real world implications because in Oklahoma, there's another major scandal taking place right now. And to me, when I'm talking about Oklahoma, this is going on in MAGA states across the country. Like I'm sure y'all will recall my reporting on LecternGate, right? Sarah Huckabee Sanders taking one of her MAGA friends who was with her and Donald Trump in the Trump administration, and they went to Paris and had this lavish vacation, and then they claimed that the podium was the thing that cost $20,000, not their Paris vacation where they may have spent lavishly and partied. While people are having serious issues in these Republican states, this is what their MAGA leaders are doing. And then what do they say? Oh, this is so woke this, we're going to stop the woke, because they're trying to distract the people that they're stealing from, that they're screwing, that they're enriching themselves with these two-bit schemes right here. As a kid, I loved eating cereal, but as an adult, I don't want all that sugar, and most cereals don't give me the protein I need. Then I found Magic Spoon, a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like my childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with a ton of protein. And if you're already a Magic Spoon fan like I am, I have big news. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular cereal into high protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are so delicious and have already become my favorite before and after gym snack. Every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you are eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, and there's so many more. I love the cocoa ones. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 11 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolate peanut butter. Chocolatey peanut butter. I personally love Magic Spoon's chocolatey peanut butter treats. I have one every morning to start the day off on the right foot, and I know you will love it as well. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/Meidas, or look for Magic Spoon in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/Meidas, MEIDAS, for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. magicspoon.com/Meidas. Even the Oklahoma Attorney General recently sent Ryan Walters, this Oklahoma superintendent, a legal letter dressing him down for the Department of Education's more than 1 year-long delay in distributing thousands of dollars state legislators gave it to provide Oklahoma schools with life-saving inhalers. I just want you to think about that. So let me just share this with you right here. You could just see a short segment of it. While you have Ryan Walters out there buying millions of dollars in Trump Bibles or putting out a bid to secure that, he's out there not doing the most basic stuff when the money's been appropriated for this purpose already. Here, watch this short segment right here. Let's play it.
Yet another issue involving the state education department and the superintendent, Ryan Walters.
Well, this time the focus is on getting emergency inhalers to students in public schools. Rather, why has it taken so long to do so?
KOCO Zach Rael joining us live now. And Zach, you have a new letter from the AG addressing this latest controversy.
Jess, Abby, that's right. This is a copy of the letter that Attorney General Gentner Drummond sent Ryan Walters today. In it, he sharply criticizes Walters and the Department of Education, adding that they must act quickly in order to get emergency inhalers in public schools. Attorney General Gentner Drummond saying to Superintendent Ryan Walters on Wednesday, candidly failing to implement legislative directives and installing roadblocks to potentially life-saving medicines at the expense of kids reflects a lack of understanding of basic purchasing procedures at a minimum, and perhaps a disingenuous unwillingness to act. It was more than a year ago in July of 2023 that lawmakers at the Capitol set aside $250,000 to buy emergency inhalers for public schools across the state to prevent deadly asthma attacks. The money has still not been spent. Over the summer, Walter sent a letter to Drummond asking for his opinion on how the purchases should go through. OSDE later said individual school districts need to buy the inhalers themselves, then ask for reimbursements from the department. AG Drummond argues in Wednesday's letter, waiting more than a year to ask for guidance, changing procurement methods multiple times, and now requiring school districts to individually procure emergency inhalers is neither speedy nor responsible.
But then he does the MAGA fake. The MAGA distraction, the MAGA smoke screen, if you will, right? We're going after the woke. This is what he said recently as of July 31, 2024. He goes, he's going to partner with libs of TikTok to hunt down school employees who joked about Donald Trump's ear getting nicked so they can be fired. Here, play this clip.
We cannot allow these individuals to continue to teach in the state of Oklahoma. I want to thank Haya Rachik, who brought this first to my attention of what she found online to show this hateful, nasty rhetoric. And it is a very sad day in politics to see the hatred that's coming from the left to want people assassinated for their beliefs. And I believe teachers are to teach, not indoctrinate. And so we want to make sure to send a message loud and clear that no one will be allowed to teach in the state of Oklahoma if they advocate the assassination of.
Here he is recently on Hannity saying that Donald Trump's the most pro-American, brought all pro-American history back to America. Here, play this clip.
President Trump is the one who brought pro-American history back to our classrooms.
Here he is ranting about his latest culture war issue. You can hear him on this one. This is September of 2023. Play this clip.
The other thing that I'm going to bring to your attention today is an issue we have with a radical, woke, activist judge that is trying to pressure one of our school districts into going in and changing past birth certificates. I want to alert the board, we are seeing more and more of this where judges are acting way out of bounds. We see a lot of this coming from the Biden administration trying to force dictates onto our states and onto our individual schools. The reality is a child's gender on their birth certificate is their gender.
And here's the kind of MAGA rhetoric that he uses. He says that teacher unions are taking orders from Joe Biden to teach children to hate Jews. Again, while he's doing this, though, outrage, 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 pick your pocket. Here you go, Donald Trump. Take it. Here, watch this.
It is very clear that the teachers' unions are taking their orders from Joe Biden. I mean, we have never had a more pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American president than Joe Biden. And it's very, very clear. The teachers' unions are there to indoctrinate kids, to turn them against our country, turn them against Jews. And that's what you're seeing here. And the reality is the unions have been the very loyal foot soldiers for Joe Biden to focus on indoctrinating our kids. And now you see it rampant at college campuses
Joe Biden has allowed the Jews in Israel to not be safe. And now we have our Jewish friends here in the United States not being safe on college campuses or K-12 schools. We have to take a stand here to protect Jews in our country.
And then let me show you, this is where he announced that he was going to be requiring all of the teachers to have a Bible in their classroom. Play it.
Academic standards. And it's crystal clear to us that in the Oklahoma academic standards, under Title 70, multiple occasions, the Bible is a necessary historical document to teach our kids about the history of this country, to have a complete understanding of Western civilization, to have an understanding of the basis of our legal system, and is frankly, we're talking about the Bible, one of the most foundational documents used for the Constitution and the birth of our country.
Right. So not only then raised a lot of alarm because it would seem to violate the separation of church and state to begin with when you're putting Bibles, but then leather-bound $60, probably fake leather or whatever too, but $60 Bibles bought from Donald Trump to give that money to him, when you could have bought the same thing for much, maybe you could have bought all those Bibles for what? All of them combined, maybe $55,000 tops, $60,000 tops, but you're going to spend $3 million while kids could be dying because they're not getting inhalers when the legislature appropriated the money to you. Now, I want to give a special shout out one more time to OklahomaWatch.org. They provided a lot of the research that went into that story. And I think it's important to support groups like that. They're very helpful to the research that I do here as well. And sometimes they're the silent heroes in this all that you don't really get to see, but have a team of people putting in great work. So for me to you, OklahomaWatch.org, great work and keep it up. And to all the Meidas Mighty, hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together and have a wonderful weekend.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.